There are literally only three things that you have to do in a sales call stage by stage, three different stages. And even if you get this part right, it may take a little bit of time. You are going to have a very, very high closing rate. Even if you have nothing to do with sales, you're trying to learn sales to replace your job or something like that. You hate asking for money. You are scared of money, scared of getting rejected. It doesn't matter. If you're able to master these three stages of a sales call, you will be able to get into business, become a millionaire, billionaire, whatever it is that you want to do. And mastering the sales call is the first step that you need to do that. Okay. Now, don't think about 100 other things that are going to happen. There is digital marketing going on, there is different kinds of funnels going on, etc. But you can just trust me, every one of these funnels and all of this digital marketing is going to fail if you don't master sales. And that's what's happening. We've got everybody who's smart at digital, but almost nobody can really help you to get the money into the bank. Okay. So these are the different parts of the sales call that we are going to be working today. Now, what is the high closing rate? In sales, first of all, nobody has more than 50% closing rate. Even the best of the best salespeople in the world have less than 50% closing rate. And today, if you can get a cold prospect and convert anywhere from 25 to 40%, that's a very, very high closing rate. In fact, even at lesser percentages than that, you can actually build an empire. But if you can master 25 to 40% closing rate, you can absolutely kill it in the marketplace. All right. Now, this applies to you even if you have a background in sales, even if you have been doing field sales, even if you are an insurance seller, telecom seller, health product seller, network marketer or something. Some of the things that I'm going to be sharing with you are different from what you have been taught. And the reason is that two things have changed in the marketplace. The first thing is that attention spans have gone down during the mobile revolution. People are stuck into their mobiles, and I have seen both phases of sales where I was selling street side earlier, just trying to get phone numbers, find prospects, go to their homes and make a sale. And then during that, the mobile revolution happened, and I realized even if I was sitting in front of the right prospect, they were constantly stuck into their phones. The phone would keep ringing, they would get disturbed and all of that. And my sales numbers, which are already very low, plummeted to so low that I realized that I'm not going to be able to survive in this profession. I went back to a job, and over there I learned different skills, how to build a company, etc. When I came back, I came in through the mobile. That means people are busy in their mobile. I came in through digital ads. So definitely digital has its value. Now, the issue with internet leads is that most people who have been doing field selling, they have such few prospects that they treat all the prospects the same. They teach all the prospects the same. And now in the internet age, your lead supply is going to 10x, 100x. You got to realize what are the different types of prospects and deal with the sales appropriately. Otherwise, you will have no sales, and you will be spending your time and money doing all this digital stuff. You will run out of time, you'll run out of money, and you will end up thinking, man, digital doesn't work. No, it's not digital that doesn't work. You just don't know how to sell to digital leads. So that is one more thing that you have to learn, even if you are an expert at field selling. All right. Now, Tony Robbins says that the people who have the right skills, they are the ones who win in the marketplace. It's not your product, it's not you, it's not your self image or your effort or anything like that. People not only with the skills but with the right skills win in the marketplace. So I'm going to be talking about three or four of the old time skills that you should definitely have. Every salesperson needs to have that ethos, but these are not the right skills that you need to have. What are the three phases of a sales call, and what are the skills that you need to have? I'm going to be covering all of this in this video. So welcome, my name is Dr. Rajat Sinha. I'm a medical doctor turned field selling professional. I have not worked in a hospital for last almost 20 years of my life, and I gave up my medical career very, very early. And since then, all I've been doing is selling or doing marketing automation in some capacity or the other. That means how to get people to take notice and pay you money from their pocket. That has been the only dedication of my entire career. So with that, let's get started. Now, I'm just going to be sharing my screen over here, and I'm going to go into some of the old time skills that are not really, you need to have, but they're not really game changing. I learned these skills back in the day when I was starting out, and they're definitely attitude, mindset wise, they really build you up, but they're not going to enable to get money into your pocket. However, you do need to have these things. Okay. So the first one over here is be excited. Okay. Be excited. Definitely, if you're in sales, you need to have a higher energy, higher momentum, higher excitement level, because you're going to be running against prospects who have all kinds of moods. Some people are frustrated in life. Some people have some difficulty going on in life. Some people are busy in the middle of something when you're going to be interrupting them. So definitely show up with high energy and a big smile on your face. Nothing wrong with that. However, being excited for no reason and just letting excitement draw the sales call, at some point you'll have a disconnect and the prospect will think, I mean, they're in front of the wrong guy or something like that. Okay, they're gonna think you're an idiot, and you won't know it. Okay, so because they won't share it. So don't be a suicide bomber excited. Okay, just be excited. Definitely keep higher energy. I totally respect and support that, but it's not gonna get money into the pocket. Now, next thing that we have over here, old time learning, is that the prospect is always right. The prospect is always right. Now, in the internet era, especially if you're going to be getting internet leads by the dozens, remember the prospect is not always right. I'm going to be going into the 4 different types of prospects, and you'll be realizing how to tackle them differently. But the prospect is not always right. Earlier in your field selling career, you had only like 5, 10, 15 prospects in a month. So definitely you had to just be nice to everybody because you're looking for the close, you're desperate. I have been there, and the client is always right as long as they write the check. Okay, but if you want, you cannot build an empire on that. Okay, you got to have some things that you're clear about. Okay, I'll just give you a simple example. A lot of people come to me and say, okay, I want to start up a side hustle, and many of these guys are employees. They've never worked in a business environment before. In fact, even solopreneurs like insurance agents, network marketers, they don't really know what is the level of effort required to get a company off the ground, to get a real business off the ground. So people say, I want to have a side hustle, and I say, okay, how many hours do you want to give to your side hustle in a week? And they say 5 to 8 hours in a week. And I just tell them, okay, business is not for you, my friend. You can just go back and just enjoy your life. Why? Because I have done business in my part-time, and even in my part-time, I was spending probably more time in my part-time business than most people spend in their full-time job, to be honest. Okay, so there is a calculation for that that we teach in our coaching system. But if people come with an attitude that they think that this side hustle means they're just gonna not put any wood into the fire, and the fire is gonna give them heat in return, those are the wrong kind of prospects. I tell them upfront, I don't want to work with them, and I just educate them. And this is not the kind of effort level that's going to get you anywhere. So might as well enjoy your life the way it is. Okay, the prospect is definitely not always right. You are the authority, and you got to reset expectations whenever it is required. Okay, next, assume the close, the assumptive close, which is another one of the old time selling, where you kind of halfway through the conversation you start using words like, okay, so when you are working with us, this is going to happen, and when you do this after you sign up, this is what happens. And this is like, sometimes it can get a little too assumptive, which means it can get disrespectful. The fact that the prospect is going to spend money with you has to be discussed very, very clearly in a format where they have the option to really think about it. You're going to give them the time, and they have the option to say no, and you can quiz them on that no. In fact, even if they say yes too easily, you got to quiz them saying, this is how it's going to cost. Why do you want to spend this money? Okay, so in the Mad Money sales script, this is a very important point. The fact that they're going to spend money, there is literally a special place in the Mad Money script where only the money and the fact that they're going to pay is going to be discussed. And if you overrun this fact, or if you totally avoid this fact and assume the sale, again, there is no connection in the call. The prospect thinks you're an idiot, because prospects are today smarter than salespeople, because they are listening to more stuff on the internet about their needs than a salesperson can actually provide. And that includes my prospects. My prospects are smarter than me, no question about it. So when the money aspect is discussed, it has to be discussed in a way where it is absolute business, and the prospect will love you and respect you for it. Okay, so assumptive close is another thing which is kind of little more old school. Don't go too heavy on it, otherwise you'll really look like a fool. Okay, play the numbers. This is another one of those things which says play the numbers, which is sales is a numbers game. Yes, back in the day there were hardly any prospects, so the more number of people you speak to, the more presentations you make, the more plans you show, the more people you can sponsor, etc., etc. But in today's times, like, numbers are immaterial because they are unlimited. You just go to Instagram, just run a Facebook ad, you're going to get 10,000 leads. Does that mean that everybody who's running ads or everybody who's doing Instagramming is successful? No. In fact, 98% of people who get online leads say that the leads don't convert. So then it's not really a numbers game now, is it? It's about having the right skills. Okay, if you don't know how to get the right skills and how to apply the right skills in this format, even if you're a success in field selling, it's not going to work out for you. All right, that's why we're going to be discussing this video very much in deep. All right, cool. Play the numbers. Okay, that's another one of the old time things. It's not only the numbers. You got to have the right mechanisms to close, because at the end of the day, nobody remembers who got the maximum leads. The game of business is won by the people who Not only make the most money, but also keep the most money. Okay, so let's talk about making the money and what are the three different stages that you have to, three different parts of a sales call that's going to help you really close at a very high rate, 25 to 40% closing rate. Let's get into it right now. First and most important part of the sales call is you have to determine the prospect type. Especially applies to online leads. Most people just run leads and they don't know what are the different types of prospects that come. And most field sales people have only seen like 20 prospects a month. And in the online world, you can get 20 prospects an hour. Okay. However, the potency of these prospects is very varied. There are 4 types of prospects and they have to be understood as per their potency level. Some of them are extremely low potency. You will not get a very high closing rate on these prospects. I just want to be clear. But the name of the game is not to push for a high closing rate. The name of the game is to figure out which are the low closing prospects and not invest yourself emotionally in these prospects. Salespeople basically die in the game, or entrepreneurs basically die in the game not because they lose money, because they lose emotional energy. And as soon as the tank is empty, they can't go on anymore. Number one name of the game in sales is do not lose emotional energy. Conserve emotional energy. So do not spend your emotional energy with the wrong kind of prospects. Okay. What are the different prospects types? Let's go over here. There are 4 different prospect types. I've covered this in detail in previous videos. Problem unaware, solution unaware, solution aware, and competition aware. Okay. The ones at the bottom, the number 4 is called bottom of the funnel prospect. The ones at the top is called top of the funnel prospect. The ones in the middle, solution unaware and solution aware, are called middle of the funnel prospects. Top of the funnel prospects have very low closing rate. Middle of the funnel have slightly higher closing rate. The best closing rate is competition aware prospects. Bottom of the funnel prospects. Funny thing, less than 10% of your prospects will be bottom of the funnel prospects. Less than 10% of your prospects, especially if you're running online campaigns or something like that, is going to be bottom of the funnel prospects. And that is why 90% of your prospects almost never close, because you don't understand what is the distribution, what is the bell curve distribution. I have a separate video on that. Please check it out. Okay. Now, once you understand this, you will be able to understand how to tackle all of these types of prospects separately, because the tackling methods are separate, are different. Okay. We'll go into that just a little bit in this video. All right. What's the next one? Next stage, ask questions. Stage 1, determine the prospect type. You should know this within the first 5 to 8 minutes of a 30-minute sales call. Within the first 5 minutes of a 30-minute sales call. Next, ask questions till you uncover what? The primary motivation and the primary barrier. The primary motivation and the primary barrier. Most prospects don't really understand their primary motivations. They're going to be talking about product, features, benefits, etc. But the primary motivations are around outcomes and the emotions related to those outcomes. If you want to come really down to a primary emotion, you have to drill deeper and deeper till you come to an emotion related to their childhood, their family, their kids, their parents, their spouse. Okay, how they felt at school when they were 6 years old. Were they bullied? Did they feel left out? Did they feel lesser than? All of those emotions that are found at the primary stage of life actually determine buying behavior in later stages of life, almost throughout the period of life. Very, very important. Okay, so you got to drill down into the reasons till you come to an emotion, especially a primal emotion. Right? And once you determine primal emotion, you got to figure out what are the primary barriers. What are the different primary barriers in a sales call? Now, all of this is one thing. Whatever I'm sharing with you in this particular sales call is literally just the one sales training you need to have. It's going to be a short video in 20-25 minutes. I want to clear your entire lifetime's learning for you. All right. All of this stuff is just one thing. These are not separate bullet points. It's all just one point. Let me just tie it in. What are the barriers? Why do problem unaware prospects do not buy? Why do they not buy? Problem unaware prospects do not really know what the problem is. This is the kind of person who will watch a health ad, something about weight loss, something about health, fitness, and they'll come to you and they say, oh, I loved your ad. I want health. Why do you want health? They don't know that. They say, I'm about 10 kgs overweight. I would like to lose that, So why do you want to lose that weight? Oh, I believe I need to be healthy. I don't want to be unhealthy. I want to live longer, something like that. But they don't really know what the problem is. They don't have a pressing problem. So the problem has to be ascertained. And that is what the primary motivation is all about. What is the primary barrier over here? Budget. Somebody who doesn't know the problem obviously has no budget assigned for the problem. You get what I'm saying? People want to save money, become a millionaire. Why do you want to become a millionaire? Obviously, if they don't know why they want to become a millionaire, if they don't know the exact problem, then they have no budget assigned for savings, they have no budget assigned to invest in themselves or their business or whatever. Everything comes down to budget. Health is a game of budget. Life coaching, inner child healing, realization, everything is a game of budget. Money has to be put in, whether it is sales material, whether it is programs, whether it is material, whether it is tools, whether it is coaching, mentorship, whatever it is. They have to go down a journey. Money is involved. Very simple. Okay, nothing is for free. In fact, even in YouTube, I listen to a lot of YouTube myself as a primary source of education for me. But I spend 10 hours a day listening to YouTube and divide my net worth by hourly rate, and there is a rate involved with my hours. If I spend 10 hours listening to a particular or listening to videos about a particular topic, you can bet I've just spent 50,000 rupees, probably a lakh rupees or more in my day, which I could have made because that's my hourly rate. All right, very, very simple. Next, solution unaware prospect. Usually these are the people who know what the problem is, but they haven't thought about it enough to go after the solution. They are thinking about it, they don't know what the real solution is, and these guys may have a budget. The biggest problem over here may be mode of payment. They may be ready to invest, they may be wanting to solve the problem, but the barrier over here is if you haven't ascertained if they have a mode of payment on them, simply because they've not spent on this problem at all before. People who are solution unaware, the reason they are unaware is because they haven't invested in that problem at all. And because they haven't invested in the problem, very, very likely that when you go to get the sale, they're going to say, well, I didn't know I need a credit card. I don't have a credit card. I don't have UPI. I don't do online. I have never bought anything online. A lot of these guys may have never bought anything online. You never know. So the first thing you need to ascertain in stage 2 before you go for the close, if it's a solution unaware prospect, is do they have a mode of payment on them? Are they used to transacting online? What was the last thing that they bought in life, which could be something other than what their need is? What was the last thing that they bought in life? And how did they buy it? Okay, so you got to figure out all of these angles. Okay, there are 4 primary barriers to the sale, and I'm just mapping those barriers to the type of prospect. Of course, a different kind of prospect may have a different kind of barrier as well. All right. Next, you have solution aware prospects. They are aware of the solution, but they haven't gone in for the solution yet. They know that it takes a little bit, they need to get into a program, they need to buy a product, they need to get some mentorship, they need to invest, whatever it is. They know that they need to, somebody who needs weight loss needs to go to a gym, somebody who needs to make money needs to figure out to invest money. Obviously, you can only make money if you learn a skill or if you invest money. Both things actually cost money. So they are solution aware, but they're still sitting in front of you. What is the reason? They know that money is to be spent, but they haven't spent it yet with somebody else. What is the reason? The reason is that they may not have the authority to spend. Their spouse may be not supportive. Their boss may be not supportive. Their coworker may be not supportive. Whatever the setting is, whether it's a B2B, they have to listen to their boss. If it's a B2C, they may have to listen to their spouse. So the authority over here becomes the primary barrier. You got to be listening for this at all times. Okay, now you see why the top 4 items are not going to help you close this sale. That is why people are unable to close internet leads, even if they are excited field salespeople who are always giving the prospect the right to speak, always assuming the close and playing the numbers. In spite of all of these offline selling skills, you are unable to get sales is because this is the science of closing an online lead. Okay, what about the next one? Competition aware. Somebody who is already competition aware has probably already spent on themselves, already probably worked with your competition, already doing something in this area, but they're not getting the results. That's why they're sitting in front of you. So money is not a problem, mode of spending is not a problem, authority is not a problem, budget is not a problem. So what's the problem? Over here, your guarantee needs to be better than everybody else's guarantee. Okay, your time to circulation, your time to solution should be better than the other person's solution that they're already using. Okay, budget, mode of payment, authority, guarantee. These are the 4 different ways that you kill primary barriers. Okay, now you see how everything that I'm talking about in this call is actually one thing. yeah, it's one big learning. Of course, it's going to take you a few weeks, few days to few weeks, maybe months to master this. I understand that. It took me many years to figure all of this out. Okay, it took me many years in spite of having the best mentors. Like, I have been mentored by the best people in the industry. In spite of that, it took me many years to learn and master. Today, hopefully, through my videos and all of that, the journey is going to be cut short. I really hope that for you. Okay. Okay. By the way, I have a book on this. It's called Nil Negotiation Selling. You can see copies of that in my book rack. I don't have it right now. In my book rack behind. If you just go to startupfrat.club/salesbook, which is startupfrat.club/salesbook, you can grab a copy of my book from Amazon or Kindle or something like that, and really start studying and mastering all of these things. Over a period of time, you'll get better and better. Okay. All right. Let's go to stage number 3. What is the stage number 3? Stage number 3 is to remove the 2 fears. Remove the 2 fears. During this entire time, you should know that there are 2 big fears that are going to make the prospect not buy from you regardless. And those 2 fears are the fear of losing money and the fear of losing face. The fear of losing money is, yes, I'm going to work with this person. I'm not going to get the result. I'm going to lose the money. Yes, more important than that is that I tried this before and I failed and I felt like a loser. Failure is something that 99.99% of the population does not take lightly. It really affects their whole being. It makes them feel deep inside that they're a loser. Many of them will get very, very angry at this. They're angry at their previous supplier. They're angry at their mentor who let them down that stage. I have been angry at my mentors many times because they led me down the self-improvement path. I wanted to go in it. I thought it's going to be easy. It was not easy. And at a certain point, in spite of doing all the hard work, I was not getting the results. Although they were teaching me, they were doing the best to teach me. I was angry. People get angry at the hand that feeds them. Okay? Just be aware of that. When you see these behaviors in a prospect, you know that they have been hurt. That's fine. So you know that you're dealing with the fear of losing face. The fear of losing face. If you can attack this, if you have stuff built into your offers which prevents them from losing money or prevents them from losing face, that's going to be amazing. Okay, that's going to be amazing. And you're going to have very, very high closing rates if you're able to really hold a very, very good call. A lot of people, they are unable to make sales or their closing rate is low and they blame the leads. Hey man, the leads are bad. Or the targeting is bad. Or my guy who's running my ads is bad. No, you just don't know how to sell. That's okay. You don't have the right skills for the internet age. That's okay. This is the training that you need to have. And if you want to go further, just go ahead, grab my book, startupfrat.club/salesbook, and you'll get lots of insights. Okay. Please comment right below this video what else I can help you with. What are the number 1 objections you're getting? What are the scenarios? If you faced a particular scenario, just write it in the comments that this is the scenario you're facing, and I'll make a video on that. Okay. Totally anonymous. I won't mention your name or anything like that. Just let me know what are some of the scenarios that you're facing, and I will build videos to help you clear those scenarios. All right. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching this video. Bye-bye.